An organization says it is ISO 27001 certified. But who certified it? Who confirmed that the certification body was competent? What happens before the audit begins? How are findings classified, and who makes the final certification decision? These questions take us into the real certification audit process. Welcome to InfoSec with Naji. In this master lecture, we will cover accreditation, certification cycles, interpreting requirements, and audit planning. We will also discuss audit execution, non-conformities, reporting, and final certification decisions. Part 1. Certification and accreditation. Certification is formal confirmation of ISMS, conformity to ISO, IEC 27001 requirements. Accreditation is different. An accreditation body evaluates whether the certification body is competent and impartial. The general trust chain is organization, to certification body, to accreditation body, to international recognition. Organizational certification must also be separated from individual certification. A company may receive an ISO 27001 certificate. An individual may complete lead auditor training, but that individual is not ISO 27001 certified like an organization. Before trusting a certificate, check the certified organization, the certification body, and the accreditation mark. Also check the standard and edition, the certification scope, covered locations, and the issue and expiry dates. Part 2. How ISO documents change. ISO standards use precise terminology. The word shall normally signals a requirement, should indicates a recommendation, may indicates permission, and can indicates possibility or capability. A revision replaces an earlier edition. An amendment adds or changes specific content without replacing the entire standard. A core addendum corrects an error in an already published document. ISO 27001 to 2022 reorganized Annex A into 93 controls. The 2024 Climate Action Amendment requires organizations to consider whether climate change is relevant to their context. It also recognizes that interested parties may have climate-related requirements that must be addressed. Part 3. Turning requirements into audit questions. Auditors should translate every requirement into requirement, process, and evidence. The final element is effectiveness. This approach is much stronger than using yes or no checklists. Consider management review. The auditor may ask, what frequency was planned? Who attended the management review? Were all required inputs considered? What decisions were made? How were those actions followed up? Part 4. The 3-year certification cycle. Initial certification begins with Stage 1 and Stage 2 audits. Stage 1 evaluates readiness. The team reviews the ISMS scope, organizational context, key processes, and management review status to determine preparation. Stage 2 evaluates implementation and effectiveness. Auditors interview personnel, examine records, and test samples. Auditors follow audit trails to determine whether the ISMS conforms to all applicable requirements. After certification, surveillance audits are performed. They review internal audits, management review, and corrective actions. Before the certificate expires, a recertification audit evaluates continued conformity for a new certification cycle. Part 5. Rules supporting certification audits. ISO 17021-1 and ISO 27006-1 establish competence and process requirements. IAF mandatory documents provide additional rules on audit duration, multi-site sampling, and the use of ICT during audits. The certification body determines if it has the competence to perform the audit, confirming scope and duration. The certification body determines if it has the competence to perform the audit, confirming scope and duration. Part 7. Audit team and plan. The team leader manages the assignment, while auditors perform their assigned activities. The audit program is the long-term framework. The audit plan is the schedule for a particular audit. Part 8. Opening meeting and conducting the audit. The opening meeting confirms the audit objectives, scope, criteria, and plan. It also addresses communication channels, confidentiality requirements, and the reporting method. Auditors collect evidence through interviews, observation, documentation, and sampling. This evidence must be verifiable. Part 9. Audit findings and non-conformities. A strong finding connects the requirement, objective evidence, and the identified gap. Auditors follow connected audit trails like tracing a privileged access risk to actual access control records. A major nonconformity generally indicates a failure that affects the system's ability to achieve intended results. A minor nonconformity is a limited failure that does not indicate complete management system breakdown. Part 10. Closing meeting and report. The team presents findings and conclusions. The report clearly describes scope and findings. The organization may disagree with a finding, but the auditor must make an evidence-based decision objectively. Part 11. Corrective action and decision. Correction addresses the problem, root cause analysis finds why, and corrective action prevents recurrence. The final certification decision must be made through an independent review process by personnel who are not part of the audit team. Possible outcomes include granting, maintaining, renewing, or even suspending certification based on the evidence. Knowledge check. Question 1. Who issues the certificate? A certification body. Question 2. Purpose of Stage 1, to review readiness. Question 3. What is the difference between an audit program and an audit plan? Framework versus schedule. Question 4. What 3 elements make a strong non-conformity statement? The applicable requirement, objective evidence, and the identified gap. Question 5. Does the audit team leader make the final certification decision? No. The decision requires an independent review. The ISO 27001 certification process is a connected chain. Application review, Stage 1 and 2 audits, and independent review maintain confidence. A professional lead auditor plans intelligently, follows evidence, and protects impartiality. Subscribe to InfoSec with Naji and continue the course.